Hello all, welcome to Paritranaya. In this class, we shall discuss about the geography topic, that is the Earth in the solar system. So here we shall discuss about the basics of geography or basics of our solar system. So what are celestial bodies, what is moon, what are planets? So about the basic concepts we'll be discussing. So first we shall start with moon. So we are already aware about the moon. So whether moon appears at the same place all the time? No, moon does not appear at the same place. It appears at different places. Whether moon appears in the same shape? No, with different shapes. So the first point is very important. It appears at different times. It appears at different times and in different shapes and at different positions. So very important. Next, we call full moon day or Purnima. Full moon day or Purnima when moon appears in a very big size or completely. So it happens once in a month. And we also have a phenomena called as new moon night, and we also refer to it as Amwase. So on the day of Amwase, there will be no moon. And we call it as new moon night. So no moon is visible on the night of Amwase. So for every fortnight, after every 15 days, after the Amwase, after 15 days, Purnima will come, and after Purnima, after again 15 days, again Amwase will come. Okay, so we are already aware of this phenomena. So we can watch the sky clearly on new moon day. Okay, provided that there is no cloud and all. If the sky is clear, then we can observe the sky very clearly on new moon day. So such kind of questions might be asked in prelims. So whether on new moon day or full moon day we'll be able to observe the sky clearly, that is on new moon day, provided that there is no cloudy environment. Okay, Next, we generally hear about a term called as celestial bodies. So what are these celestial bodies? So whatever we see in the sky, so all of them, they are celestial bodies. So few of the things which we see in the sky, there may be stars, we see sun, we see moon, we see also satellites, we see planets, asteroids, meteorites. So what are these asteroids, what are these meteorites, and all those things we'll be discussing later on. But the various objects which we see in the sky, so all of them, they are called as celestial bodies. Either it may be sun, or it may be planet, or it may be a meteorite. Next we shall see the difference between a star and a planet. So when it comes to star is very big when compared to planet. So if we compare to a planet, star is very big in size, and also it's very hot. And star is completely made up of gases. So few of the planets, they may be made up of some materials like stone, next soil and all. But when it comes to stars, they are completely made up of gases. Next, star have their own heat and light. So later on we'll get to know that when it comes to planets, they do not have light and heat of their own, rather they are dependent on others, for example other stars. So for Earth, the important source of heat and light is sun, which we are aware of. Okay, so stars emit light and heat in very large amounts. So whatever the light and heat they emit, so that is received by the other celestial bodies, for example Earth. Okay, for example Earth. So an example of a star can be sun. So sun is an example of a star. Next, what is constellation? A group of stars, when they get together and they form a pattern, that we call it as constellation. For example, let us assume here we have a star. So if you look at this star, so something, it appears like A, symbol A. So such a group of stars, we call it as constellation. There are many constellations, but among them there are some constellations which are famous, or they are recognized. So one such constellation is called as Ursa Major. It is also called as Big Bear. And another such constellation, famous constellation, is called as Saptarishi or Small Bear. So this is important. So UPSC often, in order to confuse us, it may pose the question like this. So Ursa Major is also called as Small Bear. So that will be wrong. Similarly, Saptarishi is also called as Big Bear. Again, it is wrong. Okay. Next, so what is this Saptarishi? It's a group of 7 stars. So 7 stars together, they form a pattern. So that pattern, we call it as Saptarishi. So, and Saptarishi is very easily recognizable constellation. Next, it is part of Ursa Major. So what does it mean? So we have two constellations. So let us call it as Ursa Major. This is a Ursa Major. So within this Ursa Major, a part of this Ursa Major constellation, we call it as Saptarishi. Saptarishi. So initially you may get confused. Okay, you may get confused how it can be part of the other constellation at all. So do not get into those deeper aspects. At the superficial level, you understand that there are two important constellations. One is called as Ursa Major, which is also called as Big Bear. Another one is called as what? Saptarishi, also known as Small Bear. And Saptarishi is a part of Ursa Major. This much information would be sufficient. Next, pole star. So again, very important. So pole star is also called as North Star. So let us assume, suppose you are standing in a particular place and it is night time and you want to go towards north. So how will let us assume you do not have any kind of devices which will help you to indicate the direction. At that time, the one entity which can help you is pole star. If at all you are able to locate pole star, and if you start moving in the direction of the pole star, then it means you are moving towards the north. So in the ancient days, pole star was used to it was used for navigation. Even today also we can use it for navigation. Okay, so indicates the north direction. Always remains in the same position in the sky. Very important. There are many celestial bodies who do not remain in the same position in the sky, but stars remain in the same position. So pole star, it remains in the same position. So whenever you look into you view the pole star and you start moving towards it, so it means you are taking the path towards north. Okay, north. So we can locate its position with the help of Saptarishi. So with the help of Saptarishi constellation that we saw, with the help of that, we'll be able to locate pole star. But how exactly we'll be able to locate? So all those are not important. Only we need to understand that with the help of Saptarishi constellation, the location of pole star could be easily recognized. That much information would be sufficient. Next, we saw about stars. Next is planets. So let us try to compare the features of planets with that of stars. So they do not have own heat and light. When it comes to stars, they have own heat and light. When it comes to planets, they do not have their own heat and light. Next, they are lit by the light of stars. So an example is Earth. So here we have sun, here we have sun, so here we have Earth. So Earth is a planet, sun is a star. Sun has its own heat and light, Earth does not have its own heat and light. So from where does Earth receive heat and light? From sun. Okay. So they are lit by the light of stars. Next, name derived from Greek word planeta means wonders. So wonders are the ones who do not stay at a particular place, but they move from one place to another place. Okay. So planets are called as wonders because they do not remain at a fixed position, but rather they move around the sun. So all these meanings and all, UPSC will not frame such kind of questions. That just out of curiosity, we need to know this. Otherwise, from exam point of view, these things are not important. Next, solar system. So solar system. Solar system, we are aware. So here we have sun in the center. We have sun in the center. And we have planets. So the nearest planet here is Mercury. Next, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and finally Neptune. Okay, so the nearest planet to sun is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. There are totally 8 planets. So our solar system, it consists of sun. It consists of 8 planets as I listed here. It consists of satellites. So when we say satellites, there are different types. One are artificial satellites and the other are natural satellites. So moon is an example of a natural satellite. So we have satellites. So when I say satellites here, I am referring to natural satellites and other celestial bodies. So later on, we will be discussing about asteroids and meteoroids. So all these together, they form solar system. Then who is the head of the solar system? The head of the solar system here is sun. Okay, sun is the head of the solar system, and all the other entities, they are members of the solar system. So when it comes to sun, it is made up of extremely hot gases. Okay, extremely hot gases. So it provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. So what happens? Now we know that these planets are revolving around sun. So Mercury goes around sun, Venus also moves around sun, Earth also goes around sun. So this is the case for all the planets. Now when Earth, when it is moving around the sun, why does not Earth fall on the sun, or why the Earth does not move in some other direction? Because there is some force which is holding the Earth around the sun in this orbit. So who is holding giving that force? Sun. Who is exerting that force? Sun. So it provides a pulling force that binds the solar system. That is why this solar system, it exists in this way. If that pulling force was not there, then these planets would have either fallen on sun, or they would have gone to some other places. But that is not happening because of the pulling force of the sun. Next, it is the ultimate source of light and heat for solar system. So sun is the ultimate source of light and heat for the solar system. So here, very important point to remember. So sun is approximately 150 million kilometer away from Earth. Okay, 150 million kilometer away from Earth. Next. So already I have listed the planets. So which are the planets? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. So there are 8 planets. Okay, there are 8 planets. So Pluto was also considered as planet till 2006, but later on International Astronomical Union said that it may be called as dwarf planet. So once an international such organizations, they take a decision, then everyone has to adhere to it. So it has said that Pluto should be considered as a dwarf planet. So since 2006, we do not consider Pluto as a planet, but rather we consider it as a dwarf planet. Okay, dwarf planet. Okay, so here we come across a concept called as orbit. So already we are aware, but just we shall recall it. So what are orbits? Elongated paths which planets take to move around the sun. So Mercury moves around the sun, so this path is called as orbit. So Earth moves around the sun, so this path is called as orbit of Earth. So orbit of Mercury is different from orbit of Earth. Orbit of Jupiter is different from orbit of Earth. So all of them, they move in their own orbits. Okay, orbits. Next, UPSC, what it asks questions based on curiosity. So now curiosity based. So which is the planet nearest to sun? Obviously we know it is Mercury. So to complete one orbit, it takes only 88 days. So we need to understand here difference between two important terms. One is rotation, another one is revolution. Rotation and revolution. So Earth, it revolves around the sun. So this is called as revolution. So how much time does Earth take for one revolution? It takes 365 days. Apart from the revolution, Earth also moves around its own axis. So if you consider this as an axis, so what I am doing, I am moving here. So Earth also similarly, it moves around its own axis. So that is called as rotation. Okay. So Earth continuously, it will be moving around its own axis, and in this fashion it will be making progress. So we already know, to make one rotation, how much time Earth will take? So rotation, it takes 24 hours. Okay, so very important. When it comes to rotation period of Earth, it is 24 hours. When it comes to revolution time, it is approximately 365 days. Now similar to that, Mercury, as it is, it also orbits the sun. So to complete one orbit, it means to make one round around the sun, Mercury take how many days? 88 days. Okay, 88 days. So here 88 days, this value is not important. But what is important to note here is, when it comes to orbit time of Mercury, it is less than that of Earth. Next, Venus is considered as Earth's twin. Why it is considered as Earth's twin? Because its size and shape is similar to that of Earth. So Venus is considered as twin of Earth. Why? Because size and shape are similar. Sometimes in order to confuse us, UPSC frames a question in such fashion. What fashion? It says that Mercury is known as Earth's twin because its rotation time is that of Earth. Mercury, or it may frame a question in this fashion. Venus is known as Earth's twin because its revolution time is that of is equal to that of Earth. So if they frame such kind of questions, then that will be wrong. So Venus is called as Earth's twin because its size and shape almost resembles that of Earth. Okay, resembles that of Earth. So already we have seen that Pluto is a planet, but now it is considered as a dwarf planet. So along with Pluto, we have one more such planet, which we call it as Ceres. It is also a dwarf planet. A dwarf planet. Next, already we have seen revolution, difference between revolution and rotation. Now, out of curiosity, UPSC generally focuses on curiosity type of questions. So in the 8 planets that we have listed here, which planet has the lowest revolution time and which planet has the highest revolution time? Okay, so this is very obvious. As the distance from the sun increases, the revolution time also increases. Means obviously, what does it mean? Mercury will have the lowest revolution time and Neptune will have the highest revolution time. And always Venus will have revolution time more than that of Mercury, Earth will have revolution time more than that of Venus, similarly Mars will have revolution time more than that of Earth, and so on and so on. So it's very much easy or very much obvious. So here Mercury will have the lowest revolution time and Neptune will have the highest revolution time. Why? Because Mercury is closest and farthest is Neptune. Farthest is Neptune. Next, rotation time. Very important to note here. So there is no relationship like distance from sun. Means in case of revolution time, we saw that as the distance from the sun increases, the revolution time also increases. But here there is no such connection. So there is no relationship between rotation time and distance from the sun. Distance from the sun. So that is why here I have listed only 2 entities. One is the planet with the lowest rotation time and the planet with the highest rotation time. So UPSC, it focuses on such questions. So Jupiter is the planet with the lowest rotation time and Venus is the planet with the highest rotation time. So here the rotation time, how many days it takes, so all those things are not important. So UPSC does not focus on value, rather it focuses on relative understanding. For example, whether Jupiter's rotation time is more or Earth's rotation time is more, Venus rotation time is more or Earth's rotation time is more. So we have to focus on planets which have the lowest rotation time, Jupiter, and the highest rotation time is Venus. Okay, Venus. Next, apart from that, curiosity driven. What is that curiosity driven? If you look at Earth, which are the planets whose rotation time is more than that of Earth? Okay, when it comes to revolution time, it's very easy. All the planets which are farther than whose distance is longer as compared to that of Earth from Sun. For example, it may be Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Obviously, they will be having longer revolution times. But same is not the case with the rotation time. So here we need to have that understanding. Which are the planets whose rotation time is more than that of Earth? So from curiosity driven, when you search for the information, you will get to know that Mercury has a rotation time more than that of Earth. Similarly, Venus also has rotation time more than that of Earth. So here these 88 days and 243 days, these are not important. These values are not important. What we need to understand here is the planets whose rotation time is more than that of Earth are, one is Mercury and the other one is Venus. Rest all the other planets, so their rotation period is less than that of Earth. So in the examination, if at all they ask you a question, like if they ask you Mars rotation period is less than that of Earth or more than that of Earth. So from this discussion, it is very obvious that Mars rotation period is less than that of Earth. So UPSC focuses on such relative things. Next, again out of curiosity, we have already seen about moons. Moons are nothing but natural satellites. So few of the planets have only one satellite, few planets have 2 satellites. So the number of satellites for every planet varies. So out of curiosity, we need to know which planet has the highest number of satellites. So for Earth, we know that there is only one satellite and that is Moon. Similarly, the highest number of moons are present for planet Saturn. Okay, so planet Saturn has highest number of moons. So how many moons? 83 moons. So here also that figure 83 is not important. So UPSC will not focus on how many planets are present in how many moons are present in Saturn. Rather, it will focus on type of questions like which among the following planets have the highest moons. So if we know that it is Saturn, then that would be sufficient. Next, when it comes to Pluto, so as it has appeared in the current affairs, it becomes important. And even in the current affairs, they also mentioned about the moons of Pluto. So the moons of Pluto are Charon, Hydra, Nix, Styx, Kerberos. And among these, Charon is the largest moon, and Kerberos is the smallest and also the faintest. Next, in this context, from current affairs point of view, so we need to club the static and current affairs both together, so that when it comes to examination, we will be able to address both static questions as well as dynamic questions. So in the newspaper, sometimes it appears. So New Horizon is a mission to study which planet? Mission to study planet called as protoplanet called as Pluto. So whose mission is it? Whether it is a mission of USA or mission of Russia or China, it's a mission of NASA. That is USA's mission. So NASA has started a mission called as New Horizon mission. So the goal of this mission is to study the protoplanet, that is Pluto. Okay, that is Pluto. Next, if you look at our solar system, few of our planets have belts around them. So which are those planets? Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. So here Jupiter has a belt, Saturn has a belt, Uranus has a belt. All others, they do not have belt. So UPSC may ask a question, which among the following planets do have belt? So at that time we should be able to what? Recognize it. Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus have the belts, other planets do not have the belts. So whether these belts are visible? Yes. If at all you have a good telescope and you watch, then definitely the belts around these planets may be seen. Okay, may be seen. Next, from dynamic point of view, from current affairs point of view, some of these missions are very important. So Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, these are the missions to study what? Outer solar system. So initially, don't go into the deeper aspects. That is, what is outer solar system? What is inner solar system? So what is the distance of outer solar system, inner solar system? All those things are not important. Superficially, just understand that Voyager 1 and 2, these are the missions to study outer solar system. Because when it comes to UPSC preparation, we also need to understand that what has to be skipped, to what extent we have to go to the deeper level. So here, this much information would be sufficient. Similarly, when it comes to Messenger is a mission to study Mercury. Mariner is a mission to study planet Venus. Maven is a mission to study Mars. So apart from Maven, we also have Indian mission, which is MOM, Mars Orbiter Mission. Next, we have Cassini and Huygens. It is the mission to study Saturn. Next, we have Juno, is a mission to study Jupiter. Next, we shall look into few of the important aspects of Earth. Already we are aware of few things, but we shall focus on new things which we are not aware. So we already know that Earth is the third nearest to Sun. So first nearest is Mercury, next is Venus, third one is Earth. Next, it is fifth largest in size. So when you look at these 8 planets, which is the largest one? The largest one is Jupiter. So largest one. So we are not interested in second largest, third largest, fourth largest, because we cannot keep track of all the information. For us, what is important is, so largest planet is Jupiter. So what is Earth's position? So Earth's position, it is fifth largest. Okay, fifth largest. That much information is sufficient. Next, Earth is slightly flattened at poles. So if you look at Earth, so this area is called as poles. So this is called as North Pole, this is called as South Pole. So here, it is flattened here. It is like a flat surface. So it's slightly flattened at poles. Next, its shape is described as geoid, means Earth-like shape. Okay, so do not focus much on this. So geoid is nothing but Earth-like shape is called as geoid. Okay. Next, conditions favorable to support life probably found only on Earth. So if you look at all these 8 planets from Mercury to Neptune, only Earth has what conditions which are favorable to sustain life. Okay, very important point. It is neither too hot nor too cold. Now, some of the planets are either too hot or too much cold, so making life unviable there. Whereas in Earth, it is neither too hot nor too cold. That's why life is possible on Earth. So it has water and air. So two important elements for life. Okay, so it has water and air, which are essential for our survival. Air has life supporting gases like oxygen. So we require what? Tremendous amount of oxygen to lead our life. So air has life supporting such gases like oxygen and all. Next, it is unique planet in the solar system. Yes, obvious. Okay, compared to all the 8 planets, it is a unique planet because it has all the life supporting entities here. Next, if you look from the sky, if you look from the outer space at the Earth appears blue in color. Okay, Earth appears blue in color because almost 2/3 of the Earth, if you consider this as Earth, so almost 2/3 of Earth is covered with water. That's why when you view it from the outer space, it appears blue in color. That's why very commonly Earth is also referred to as blue planet. Earth is also referred to as blue planet. Next, satellite. So here when I say satellite, there are 2 types of satellites. One is natural satellite, another one is artificial satellite. So an example of a natural satellite is moon, and an example of artificial satellites are many. Okay, for example, INSAT, IRS, MOM, all these are example of artificial satellites. Okay, so again, natural satellite is a celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way as planets move around the Earth. So we know that Earth is a planet which moves around the sun, Similarly, these moons or satellites, what they do, they move around the planets. So if I take moon as an example, so moon moves around the Earth. Moon moves around the Earth. So here what we understood, planets move around the sun, satellites move around the planets. An example is moon, which moves around the Earth. Next, human-made satellites is an artificial body. Is designed by scientists to gather information about the universe or for communication. So why are satellites used? So generally they are used either to gather information. For example, if you want to know what is happening in a particular forest, so we cannot keep an eye on the forest. So on behalf of us, satellite which is present over in the sky, so it will be watching the forest and it will be gathering all the information related to forest and it will be sending it to us. So one is information gathering. Another one is for communication. So whatever the communication that we are able to make, now whatever the classes I am engaging or the telephone communications that will happen, so all these happen because of the satellites. Okay, so satellites have multiple purposes. It is information, it may be information gathering or for communication purposes. Next, it is carried by a rocket and placed in the orbit around the Earth. Now, this is our Earth. So satellites will be moving around the Earth. That is artificial satellites. So this place we call it as orbit. Orbit. But someone has to place this satellite in this orbit. Once the satellite has been placed in the orbit, then satellite will start moving in this direction. So to place this satellite in our orbit, we require rockets. Okay, So here it is carried by a rocket and placed in the orbit around the Earth. So when we place it in the orbit, the forces are so balanced that the satellite will start moving in this direction. So to place in that orbit, we require rockets. So some of the examples of Indian satellites are INSAT, IRS, EduSat, etc. Okay, there are many more satellites which have been placed. Next, already we have seen about the moon, but there are some extra things which we shall again see those extra things here. So moon's diameter is only 1/4 that of Earth. So here we need to know about the size. So this is our Earth. Let us assume its diameter is 4 meters. So what will be the diameter of moon? So moon's diameter is just 1 meter. So 1/4 that of Earth. So from this we can compare the size of moon and Earth. So moon is almost 4 times smaller than that of Earth. Next, it is nearer to Earth than other celestial bodies. So compared to all other celestial bodies, the nearest entity to Earth is moon. Next, it is approximately 384,000 kilometers away from Earth. So even this approximate distance is also important. 384,400 kilometers away from Earth. Next, moves around Earth in 27 days. Also takes the same time that is 27 days to complete one spin. As a result, one side of the moon is visible to us on the earth. Very important point to note. When it comes to Earth's revolution around the earth, it is 365 days. 365 days. When it comes to Earth's rotation, it is 24 hours. It is 24 hours. But when it comes to movement of moon around the earth, this is moon. So to make one revolution, it requires 27 days, and also to revolve around its own axis. Also, it takes 27 days. So here it is 365 days and 24 hours. Here it is 27 days and 27 days. So because of this, only one face of the moon is visible to Earth. So it means we cannot see the other part of the moon. So if this is moon, so the part which is visible to Earth, we call it as visible side. Okay, visible side. Next, other side or farther side. Okay, farther side. So never we will be able to see this farther side. We will be only seeing the one side of the moon because it has equal rotation time and revolution time. Okay, revolution time. So even this question can be asked in the prelims. Okay, can be asked in the prelims. Next, conditions not favorable for life. So on Earth we saw that conditions are favorable for life. So on moon, conditions are favorable for life like air, water. So nothing is present. So that's why conditions are not favorable for life. Neither air nor water. Okay, nor water. But on moon, we can find mountains, we can find plains as well as depressions. That is why when you observe moon, sometimes you see that there is some shade kind of thing. So what is that? The mountains and all, they cast shadows, and those shadows will be able to see from Earth. Okay, those shadows will be seeing, will be interpreted from the Earth as what? Some kind of objects which are present over there. Okay. Next. UPSC has generally stopped asking such kind of questions, but out of curiosity we need to know what is that. Who was the first man to step on moon? So Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on moon. So when did he step? In 1969. So whether this July 29 is important? Not important. In 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on moon. Next, out of curiosity, whether any Indian have ever stepped on moon? No Indian has landed on moon till today. Okay, till today. Next, again from current affairs point of view, there is one China's mission to study far side of the moon. We already seen, right? So in the moon, one side is visible, the other side we cannot see. So this is called as farther side. So in order to study this part, so China has sent one such mission. So that mission is called as Change 5. So UPSC may ask a question on Change 5. So Change 5 is the mission of NASA or China. So it's of China. So what it will study? It will study moon. Which side of the moon? Farther side of the moon. So all these things are important. Next, asteroids. So here do not go into the deeper aspects. Just at the superficial level. So asteroid is also a celestial body, tiny body that moves around the sun. So generally, where are asteroids present? They are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. So here we have orbit of Mars. Here we have orbit of Jupiter. So in between here we'll find what? Asteroids. We'll find asteroids. So scientists are of the view that asteroids are part of the planet which exploded many years back. So scientists believe that once upon a time there are few planets. So those planets, they exploded, they broken. So once they broke down, so few parts which came out of it, they became asteroids. It is their belief. Okay. So generally on such kind of beliefs, so UPSC will not ask a question. Okay, it will not ask the question. What kind of questions can be asked? So it may ask a question like asteroid is present between the orbits of Earth and Mars. Then it will be wrong. So asteroids are present in the belt that exists between Mars and Jupiter. Next, very important. So Dawn spacecraft, again it's a mission of whom? Of NASA. So what is its goal? Its goal is to study two of the known protoplanets of the asteroid belt. So it means Vesta and Ceres. These are the protoplanets. So where they are present? These are present in asteroid belt. These are present in asteroid belt. In order to study these protoplanets, NASA has sent a mission, and that is called as Dawn spacecraft. Dawn spacecraft. Next, meteorites. So these are what? Again, small pieces of rock which move around the sun. Okay, which move around the sun. Sometimes they come close to the Earth and tend to drop upon it. Okay, so generally we heard in the newspaper and all that meteorites is almost coming close to Earth and all. So generally what happens when meteorite comes close to the Earth, so because of friction with the air, they get heated up and burn. Okay, in the air itself they get heated up and burn, and it also causes the flash of light. But sometimes when it is not completely burnt, a meteorite may come and it may fall on Earth. So if it falls on Earth, then it creates a hollow. It creates hollow on Earth. Okay, hollow on Earth. Next, Milky Way galaxy. So here, what is galaxy? Galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. Okay, so how many galaxies are there? There are millions of galaxies. So just imagine, it's even difficult to imagine how big our universe is, because our universe consists of millions of galaxies, and in those millions of galaxies, one such galaxy is Milky Way galaxy. And in one such Milky Way galaxy, there are many systems, and among those many systems, we have one system, that is solar system. And in this solar system, we have many planets. Among that, one planet is Earth. Okay, so from this comparison, you will get to know that how big the universe is. Okay, so in ancient India, this Milky Way galaxy, of which solar system is a part, was referred as Akash Ganga. So Akash Ganga is nothing but we use it as a reference for Milky Way galaxy. Okay, Milky Way galaxy. So here, what kind of questions can be framed? So solar system is part of Milky Way galaxy. Okay, true or false? So Akash Ganga is a name used to refer to which galaxy? It is used to refer to Milky Way galaxy. Okay, that would be sufficient. Next, word origin and meaning. So this part is not that much important. So geography means GE in Greek means earth, and grapha means writing. So geology means study of earth. Geometry means measurement of earth. Geoid means resemble the shape or form of earth. Okay, so not that much important from exam point of view. Next, astronomers. So we know who are astronomers? Those who study celestial bodies and their movements. So what are celestial bodies? Where are they present? How do they move? So how much rotation time is there? What is what revolution period? So all these studies are done by astronomers. So one such famous astronomer of Indian history is Aryabhatta. Okay, Aryabhatta was a famous astronomer. So UPSC focuses on such aspects. So Aryabhatta was a famous astronomer. So he flourished during whose era? Means during which dynasty Aryabhatta lived? So Aryabhatta flourished during the era of Guptas. During Gupta's era, Aryabhatta was present. He was a contemporary of Gupta era. Next, UPSC also focuses on the works of Aryabhatta. So the two famous works of Aryabhatta are Aryabhatiya and one more is Arya Siddhanta. So UPSC also focuses on these aspects. So Arya Siddhanta is a work of Aryabhatta. Aryabhatiya is a work of Aryabhatta. Okay, so these points are important to note. Next, light. So when it comes to light, so what is the speed of light? 300,000 kilometers per second. So per second, the light travels at such a speed. But even with this speed, it takes almost 8 minutes for the light to reach to Earth from Sun. So such a high speed, but despite that speed, it almost takes 8 minutes for a ray of sun which has emanated out of Sun to reach Earth. So this indicates the distance between Earth and Sun. So how far the Sun is. Okay. Next, comets. We have already seen what exactly comets are. Okay. What exactly are comets? So in this class, we discussed about the Earth in the solar system. Similarly, in the subsequent classes, we will be discussing about the important topics related to geography. For all our further updates, subscribe to our channel and hit on the bell icon. Thank you.